everyone, Brooke here. I am here to talk with you about mindful consumption. So this is a component of self-care and kind of what we've been talking about with mindfulness in general, being alignment with the highest version of ourselves, the most ideal version of ourselves. And it's something that we often think about in only limited terms. So I'd like to start by sharing with you a Thich Nhat Hanh quote. He says, "We are what we consume. If we look deeply into the items that we consume every day, we will come to know our own nature very well." We are what we consume. So this is by no means the first time that you've heard this idea. However, I'm inviting you to think about it in a little more faceted manner. So, of course, we are what we eat, so to speak, right? If we bring in nourishing foods, we often feel the nourishment of our body manifested in better health and whatnot. However, mindful consumption does not just relate to diet. Mindful consumption is everything that we take in throughout our day via our senses. So this means the things that we're listening to, the things that we're reading, anything that really impacts us energetically or in a sensory manner, it is being consumed by us. And so, for example, if you find that you watch the news a lot, mindful consumption would ask you to consider, what is the effect? Maybe you watch the news and you feel empowered and you feel motivated to step out into your day and do whatever it is that you see best. However, maybe you watch the news and you feel helpless and you feel scared and you feel just overwhelmed by what you see going on. If that's the case, then maybe watching the news is not the best idea, right? We have a bunch of norms established in our society that encourage us to consider certain acts as just part of being an adult, for example, such as, in this instance, watching the news. But if you were to turn off the news, you would still be informed of the big things happening. You could still seek out information whenever necessary. But maybe you're guarding your energy in a way that allows you to more fruitfully participate in your day-to-day life. So in that way, consuming the news is not actually a responsible or productive thing, but rather something that's harmful to you personally and therefore not worth doing. So in this video, I'm not necessarily offering a specific practice of sitting here in stillness like we have done in former videos. This one's just a little more active, I suppose. So what you might find helpful is sitting down and writing a list of anything that you consume throughout your day. And you can actually do this as you go throughout your day. Maybe you jot down ideas, like items that you find yourself taking in via music, maybe via television, via books, conversations that you have. And then on the other side, write down how you feel internally. So maybe you watch the news and you find yourself feeling overwhelmed and helpless. Maybe you talk to a certain person and you feel uplifted and engaged. Maybe you talk to a different person and you feel kind of icky. Maybe that there's a lot of gossip in that conversation. And just note those things for yourself in a sort of T-chart. Since we're all teachers and we like graphic organizers here probably, that can be a really fruitful practice. You can choose to instead just sit in silence and consider these things, but I find for myself it helps to actually have a reflective, physical component, such as a T-chart in this instance. So just to debrief, your task for this week is to monitor your consumption of all of the senses, notice which things have which effect, and from that point, maybe enter into your next days with a little more mindfulness. In the previous example, not watching the morning news and seeing how that impacts your day. Maybe you notice that you really feel a little more peaceful when you walk to work in the morning, when you take in the scents and the feel of the wind and all of these different things that are part of that experience. And so you commit to walking to work, as many days of the week as you can, and so on. So create that little reflective component and make your decisions based off of it. And hopefully, as you're more mindfully consuming things, you find yourself a little more at ease and a little more aligned with the person and the life that you really want to project out into the world. All right, thank you.